Happy Saturday, y'all. Today is Saturday, September the 28th for us. I hope whatever day it is for you that it's absolutely fabulous. I'm starting off this Saturday making us my favorite snack for breakfast. I love the combination of these flavors. It hits all the palates. I really wanted Babes to try this, and he wasn't so sure about it, but he said he liked it. I don't think he loved it, but he liked it. I loved it. I thought it was delicious and so good and healthy for a good breakfast snack. After breakfast, we decided to head to town and go to a gun store that Babes had seen online up in Everett's. He typed it into the GPS, but when we got there, it was a house, and we wasn't so sure because there was no signage. So we didn't want to go knock on some random house and say, hey, we're here for the gun store. These mountains are breathtaking. We have the prettiest mountains I think I've ever seen, especially in the fall time. Lots of people are without electricity right now. We are very blessed that the only thing we're out of is Wi-Fi. We ended up going to some other stores in town at Everett's, and I did not know this was here. It was like walking into Hobby Lobby. It was wonderful. On one side was Hobby Lobby and clothes, and on the other side was guns and man stuff. So it was the perfect store for the both of us. I ended up buying a really cute shirt, and after that we went to Matt's Feed and Seed and got some mums and pumpkins. Y'all, these mums were beautiful. The prices were fabulous, and the prices on the pumpkins were great. Those white ones were like $1. The big ones were $8. So I've got enough to do a little fall scene in front of the house. Then we went to Walmart. I'm trying to avoid Walmart as much as possible, but I needed a glass foaming soap bottle and a glass spray bottle, and I didn't know where else I could get that, so we had to go to Walmart for that. We are finally back home, and this is what we got today. We got some distilled water, a jar of distilled water for medicinal purposes. This is the shirt dress I got at that store. Babe's got some bullets and some kind of loud poppers. I got Adeline some glue, Play-Doh. Babe's got a shirt, and I got those glass jars. Now let's get out here and get started decorating the front of the porch for fall. I changed my mind several times. I was thankful that Babes was here to dig that big hole for me so that I could put this huge mum in it. And I decided to take down all the corn stalks the way I had them and bring them all to the center to really make that the focal point of this little fall scene. I decided that I wanted to move the little mum that I had already planted over here because it was just over there by itself looking so lonesome. So I moved it over here. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments what you think about this little fall scene. It's Sunday, September the 29th. Happy Sunday, y'all. I'm starting this Sunday morning by fixing me and Babe some homemade biscuits and gravy and some bacon and some eggs for me. I wanted some fried eggs with my breakfast this morning, but Babes doesn't eat eggs. I'm not pouring bacon grease down my kitchen sink. I have a jar in the sink that I'm pouring it in to save to use for later. Babes is gone to work, and I'm going to spend the day baking treats and things for this week. I didn't video all of it. Today I made some brownies and chocolate chip cookies, and I made some pizza dough, turned that into cheese sticks, and lots of pancakes for the weeks just to prepare for the week. The cheese sticks, I wish I had videoed because they were delicious, y'all. So good. But for these brownies, I'm just making the same recipe that I made a few days ago. It was really good. The only difference is I did add in some walnuts and I topped it with some chocolate chips, and that made it just extra good. I doubled this brownie recipe so we'd have enough for the whole week, but the regular recipe is 1/2 cup of butter or oil. I've been using oil because it's cheaper. 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of cocoa, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of add-ins of your choice, nuts, chocolate chips, whatever, that's optional, 1/4 cup of flour. Then you heat the oven to 350, grease an 8x8 or 9x5 pan. In microwave safe bowl, add butter, microwave 1 minute or until melted, add in sugar and cocoa, whisk, add eggs one at a time, and add vanilla, whisk, stir in flour and salt, add add-ins, and bake for about 20 minutes. This baking time is never accurate for me. So what I have done is I set the timer for 20 minutes and then checked it every 5 minutes after that. I'm not sure how long it took, but it was definitely longer than 20 minutes. But the brownies were really good. Like I said, I doubled the recipe. I am pulling these out and setting them to the side. I'm going to pull the brownies and parchment paper out of the pan so they'll cool faster. I'm going to set them to the side so they'll cool and be easier to cut and easier to store that way. Now I'm getting started on the chocolate chip cookies. I doubled this recipe as well. The recipe that I went by somewhat is 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I did not use brown sugar. I just used regular sugar. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 egg, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of chocolate chips. Like I said, I doubled this recipe, and I forgot the brown sugar, and I don't think I'll ever add it again because I really like the cookies without the brown sugar. Heat your oven to 350. Melt and cool butter, mix butter and sugar, add vanilla and eggs, add flour, baking soda, and salt, mix, add chocolate chips. Bake 7 to 10 minutes. I baked these for 10 minutes. The second batch turned out a little browner, but at the last minute, I turned my oven to broil at 400 just for a minute to give them a little crispiness so that they would store better. I know you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough because it has eggs in it, but how can you not? Cookie dough is the absolute best thing ever. The cookie dough is so delicious, so these cookies have got to be amazing. And they were. They were really good cookies. And I realize now that I don't have to have brown sugar for these cookies. I mean, nothing against brown sugar, which I could actually make my own brown sugar, but that's less things I have to store. So if I just have one kind of sugar, that's less things to store. So I do believe that when I use up this brown sugar that I have on hand, I don't think I'll buy any more. I think I'll just make it if I absolutely need it or use regular old cane sugar, which is what I used in these cookies, and they tasted really good. I am going to take these cookies off this hot pan and just lay them on some parchment paper to help them cool a little faster so that I can get them put away. I want them to be completely cooled before I put them in the jar. Since it has a lid, it's a glass jar, and I don't want them to get wet, from the heat. I should really invest in some cooling racks. I used to have those. They were really good, and that really does help them to cool quicker. But look at these delicious cookies.